I'm a happy person. I mean, I don't think about the missed opportunities and all that much, but I fear like the opportunities that I could possibly miss in the present. Right?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the third episode of Let's Talk Business. I am Zain Zahir, the newsletter head of the Commerce Association, and I have with me Ayan Kaushik, the executive member of the Commerce Association. After successfully conducting several competitions, seminars, and webinars, and receiving an overwhelming response for the first two episodes of our interview series, we are back with yet another successful and intriguing entrepreneur.
So now I would like to welcome our esteemed speaker for the day, Mr. Himanshu Periwal. He's the co-founder of Onlu, a friend to Celebrity Connect platform with a vision that ideas have zero value until and unless they're executed in a significant manner. He is the startup and growth mentor at NASCOM and of various other startups. He has worked with Bain Company, Amazon, and Ixigo over the last 10 years, and he has been in touch with a lot of startups. Having graduated from IIM Calcutta, he holds a great experience in the field of equity, fintech, and product marketing institute. Here we have Mr. Himanshu Periwal with his leading visions and his leading actions. Thank you so much, sir, for joining for us for today's session.
Thank you, guys. My pleasure to be on this show.
Start with the interview. Sir, we would like to start by knowing your entrepreneurial journey and what served as the motivation for leaving your job and starting Unlu.
Sure. So, see, I mean, I believe that, there are like two types of people. One, they are born with the entrepreneurial bug that, right from the age of 15, 16 years, 20 years, they decide that, they want to start up or they want to do something on their own. And then there are the second kind of people who kind of learn on the job and, like it might or might not be clear from the start, but they learn and give it some time and build the right network and build the right connections. So I'm probably the second kind of person. I mean, I always knew in the back of my head there is going to be a time when I'd be starting up and doing something of my own, but like the risk associated with just starting up, I wanted to minimize that. So always had that motivation, but was just kind of building up my network, building up my knowledge, building up the right set of people who I would want to start off with. So that's what the journey has been like, and it's not been like a big journey till now, but yeah, I mean about 2-3 years or so. So going great till now.
Sure, sir. Your journey sounds amazing. Given your vast experience working across different companies and fulfilling different roles, how do you manage to constantly adapt to these changes?
See, I mean, you work with multiple companies. While you're doing that, you're just gaining experiences, right? It's not that like there is a transition shift and all, but at the helm of it, you need to understand that every new opportunity brings a new set of learnings with itself. So that's what I learned pretty early on in my career, and I always love to kind of take up newer industries, newer markets, and as an entrepreneur also, like you discuss maybe like 2-3 ideas every single day, 2-3 different things that you want to do every single day, right? And that's the biggest aspect of being an entrepreneur, right? You don't say no to something, you kind of deep dive and try newer experiments, newer ideas, right? That's what makes you a very good
Yes, sir,
entrepreneur.
absolutely. Especially as college students, it's very important that we constantly keep up and keep trying different things. So moving on to the next question. Are there any missed opportunities that you wish to have leveraged upon?
Well, see, I'm a happy person. Like, I mean, I don't think about the missed opportunities and all that much, but I fear like the opportunities that I could possibly miss in the present, right? So I'm fearful of that. I'm not sad about the things that have gone, because where you've reached because of the kind of small things. They could be great opportunities, but you probably didn't take them. So that's the reason why you're here, right? And if you're here, you're happy with your life, then you don't think about the missed opportunities. But yeah, having said that, at times I feel, I mean, maybe if I could have maybe started in the sense like started up something at the age of 18 to 20 years, right? And maybe failed like 5, 6 times. And maybe about 5, 6 years back, I would have probably been what I'm doing right now. But having said that, it's just like a thought on hindsight. I mean, I'm not really regretting it, but it's just a thought on hindsight that crosses my mind at times. But yeah, I mean, as I said, right? I mean, just happy for where I am and fearful for the opportunities I could possibly miss. So always on the lookout for not missing those opportunities in the present. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
given that you have been shuffling across different positions and you have your own startup, so how do you manage stress and that constant pressure that you face?
Well, yeah, I mean, at one point in my career early on, I used to actually feel pretty stressed with work. I wouldn't disagree, right? I mean, but then I started kind of managing things better. Like, like let's say, I learned it pretty early on. You have like your task list, right? You keep managing your task list and striking things off. And if you look at my task list, it's like a 10 pager now by now. Like hundreds of points, but still, like if you have your top priorities listed, uh, you would be able to kind of balance it out. You won't be stressed because stress happens when, let's say, you have 20 things in your mind piled up, right? Now you don't pile up your mind with those things. You put it on a let's say your notebook or wherever you're like kind of jotting down things, right? I do it on my MacBook, right? So you can do it wherever you want, but keep your mind free, keep your mind, and if at all you want to kind of like give some space in your mind, give it to your personal life, give it to your family and close friends, right? I think that ways you don't have any stresses, while at the same time you're ensuring that okay, the pressure of work or the lot of things that you want to do, it's all noted down somewhere, so that when you get back to work at a particular time, that's when you kind of start thinking about those things. The things shouldn't be stressing you, your work shouldn't be stressing you 24/7.
That a startup has many elements to it. A success for an
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur could be maybe impact driven, or maybe going public, or maybe, let's say, having 100% revenue growth year on year. So how do you define success for an entrepreneur?
Well, yeah, I mean, for an entrepreneur, I've interacted with like tens and hundreds of entrepreneurs, honestly. And what I understand from all of those conversations is that success is not one milestone for them. Success is a journey for every single entrepreneur, right? I mean, they have, just imagine entrepreneur like a traveler, right? They've just started on the journey and they will continue to kind of reach multiple milestones, right? Like let's say I'll give you an example. Let's say Zomato, right? And Zomato has done what, Series G or I don't know what. They've raised so many rounds, but they haven't stopped saying that okay, I have achieved success, right? And I will now kind of operate like, let's say, a large organization or not. Zomato still operates like a startup, right? So for entrepreneurs, see, success is a journey, and it's just about every single day. Let's say it depends on the phase also. In a particular stage, it could be about ensuring that every single teammate of yours is as motivated as you are. You know, like right now, that's very important for us. For me, like the top priorities are setting up the right team. With every single person being as smart or being as motivated as I am, right? And at times it's about revenue. So depending on stage, you set your small milestones, and those could be like small successes for this month, for next month. But overall, if you ask an entrepreneur about success, most of them would say, okay, it's a journey. you know every single day they would achieve something good, some success. Every single day there would be some failures out of which they'll learn and kind of improvise. Yeah.
So how did your school and college life help in shaping you and in achieving your goals?
Well, to be very honest, yeah, my school life, I took up a lot of leadership positions and all, so that really helped me to kind of lead from the front. Was always kind of towards the end became a head boy, and also I was always kind of taking up leadership positions in the school. In my college days, I felt that we weren't as motivated or as kind of strong-willed as you guys are right now. I mean, I interact a lot with your generation, and I feel really happy that your generation has taken so many initiatives. There's so many more entrepreneurs in your generation as compared to when I was in my college days. So which I'm really really happy about. But in my college days, and I feel that like the only good thing that we were able to build, which I am really happy about, is the network. Is the strong bonds that we had with not like a set of 10-20 people, with almost the entire batch.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir. So that's one piece of advice, that we should start early. And given that we are 18 and 20 years of age, so we should be starting up right now. So, sir, we'll be moving to the last question for our interview session. If you were to recommend any books, blogs, and podcasts to the college students, what will they be?
Yeah, I mean, there's so many good books. It depends on what kind of actually reading you like. I mean, let's say if you like biographies, like for instance, I mean, I love biographies, right? So, my first biography was, I think, Lee Iacocca, who was the then like he was the then president of Chrysler, which was so Ford, like he became like a leadership position of Ford, and then he took up Chrysler, did a lot of M&As and all that, right? So I was very interested in automobiles, so I read his biography and read Ratan Tata's, read J.R.D. Tata's, then Kishore Biani's biography is also good. Elon Musk biography is also good. So if you love biographies, you should take up biographies of business people, because actually that will tell you about the real incidents in the lives that kind of sparked the moment why they took certain turns in their lives. If you like business book, then Peter Thiel's 0 to 1 is great. There's a book called Jugad, which is again like I read that book when I was probably in your age range, right? So that's also another interesting book, because that'll kind of help you think outside the box for innovation and all. A lot of interesting books. Yeah. I mean, I think the thing is that just to start off, because I know in your age there are a lot of people who don't even read books, right? So I think the important thing is to now start and reading books, whatever you like, right? Try with one, just start with one, and then that's how you start.
Exactly, sir. So I think the books and podcasts which you have recommended are going to help a lot of people, and they should definitely read those. So thank you so much,
With this,
sir.
we come to the end of the third episode of Let's Talk Business. We would once again thank you, sir, for sharing valuable insights, and would request our viewers to like, share, and comment, along with subscribing to our YouTube channel to get constant updates. Thank you all.